So this is what's happening at the moment on the bench. This is the CRZ IPU, and this is obviously the super cap conversion. So basically I've spent the last 2 days tidying up the IPU assembly. I chopped off 3 centimetres, 30 millimetres from these legs here to raise the IPU up towards the bar, and that gives me more clearance underneath for the supercapacitors. And here you can see I've put the Anderson connectors on the switchboard here, so that's all quite nice and neat. So basically I've freed up this side of the switchboard so I can mount some things there if I want to, and the Anderson connectors are here, and this is where the supercapacitor blocks will plug into. So each block has obviously got a separate connector, so that's all nice and solid and easily accessible. So I can unplug the supercaps and take the IPU out without actually having to take the supercap module out at the same time. So that's the plan there. So yeah, still some work to do on this, but that's basically almost done now. I've put the standard fuse, 125 amp fuse, back in for now, just to make it all a bit neater, and the bypass resistor is back in its original place. These 2 extra wires here are for the BCM fooler, because I'm still going to be using that, so I'm not quite sure I'm going to mount that yet, but I'll get to that in due course. And then we have the supercapacitors in the box here. They're not potted in yet or anything like that, because I've still got to wire up the CRZ Lithium BMS boards. So I've also spent a couple of days working on these. The connectors are different on the A and B boards. There's 2 types of BMS. There's an A BMS and a B BMS, and the wires are different on both. The wiring's different, so you've got to be really careful to make sure that that's right. So I might actually put those down there and then bring the leads along here to connect up to the wires here, or I might put them down the side here. Actually that's not a bad idea. I might just shove these over slightly, because we have got a little bit of spare room here now, because obviously I've tidied up underneath the IPU. So yeah, it's a question now of just fitting things in, wiring the BMS boards to the cells themselves. I've got to put the Anderson connectors on the main high power connections, so there'll be an Anderson connector for this one and an Anderson connector for that one, and then wire up all the BMS. And then most of this, well, a lot of this will be redundant. I don't need this anymore, don't need the fuse container anymore, don't need my Wi-Fi current meter and voltmeter anymore. I'm going to probably use a set current hack for now, and I will still need my little IPU interceptor, and I'll need my BCM interceptor, but I'll put all that into a nice little box, and that will hopefully go somewhere, maybe just here actually, in fact, on this one now, because it's not anywhere near as much stuff as there was before. So it should make the whole thing much neater, and that's where we are at the moment. I'm still pondering on potting these with expanding foam, because it would make it very secure. So I'll need to cut something very accurately to fit in here, and then when I pot it, and I'll just temporarily take these out and obviously put this in, get all the wiring done, and then put that on there and make a divider here. You can see there's a safety divider in here already to keep the 2 packs apart. I'll put another one down here, and then basically pot it all, expanding foam, put a massive weight on it so it can't all get out, and then obviously trim it all off and Dremel it all out so it's all nice and flat, and then this can just basically pop on top. So then basically this becomes like a battery, this whole box assembly thing, and it can just fit back in the car as normal. So that's where we are at the minute. So lots of work going on. I've also just done a little bit of work on the OBD2 CNC. There was a bug in that, so hopefully we've cured that. So that's where we are at the minute, still working on the project.